Warm greetings. Hello. Very nice that we can meet, and hope the sound is fine. A warm welcome to everyone. This amazing opportunity to shine light on this game. And we have this terminology, body consciousness, and have a retreat on this subject to see the brilliance of the soul and then what's in the way. It'd be lovely to hear where you're connecting from. So if you want to just type in the chat, we would love to hear where we are joined to. And you can see already that there is Netherlands and various places, US and Canada, from Mira, and Pennsylvania, nice, Rotterdam, US, Boston, in Chile, and Southampton. Well, welcome to all those in the UK, in the south, and maybe the north. So, and Spain, of course, and we have Italy with us, probably Western Balkans region, London. So we are lucky to be able to have this terminology, because even in the world, I will share with you Einstein's quote, which is like a joke almost. He says, only two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the former. So he doesn't know about body consciousness. So now we're lucky we have this retreat to understand that maybe it's not infinite, hopefully not. This is, I got muted. So another quote, David Goggins, he said, you have to be willing to go to war with yourself and create a whole new identity. And I thought that was interesting, because it's true, isn't it? It's like a regime change. However, ego may find it a war, but we can maybe see it as a game. And we're hopefully today going to understand this game better with the subtle and royal forms of body consciousness. So I'm now hand over to Prashant and look forward to your sharings from all of you, and handing over. So, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this, very insightful quotes. And I would say Baba also says the same thing. Extreme darkness, it is like infinite. Compared to the extreme day and light, there is extreme darkness, and many patterns emerge in this darkness. So let us, in our case, let us start with full light. And then we will be able to see also, what is body consciousness. Otherwise, in darkness, body consciousness, when people are body conscious, they don't say there is body consciousness, or they don't say there is darkness. Only in full light we can see. So for ourselves, it is like stepping up wherever we are. We have the option to go for the highest and the best. It is nice. This moment, we are using our best sight. These are like the necessary, instruments we are using. Best sight, we need light, best intellect. And we go for 100%. And what happens in this 100% light? You are able to see physical world for what it is. And this physical world is the world of images. Just as here, there are images in front of me, and the light goes and these images disappear. They are just images. The real you is somewhere else and something else, not these images on my screen. Same thing happens at another level. In this best light, we are understanding that we are seeing the images, and real people are at another level. If I can use the word people, they are what we call souls. But right now, we are understanding here is a world of images, and images come and go. There is no one there, nothing there. They are empty. And we are seeing the total absurdity of creating any level of bondage there. Leave aside defining ourselves in those images, world of images. In full light, we can see the true world, real world, which was completely ignored in darkness. In the darkness, everyone lives in those images. They scream and they cry and complain, but they are holding on to those temporary images. And now in full light, you are seeing the real world of immortality. This is all. What else anyone needs? You are seeing your real world. You are seeing the true family. You are seeing the true treasures, true father and friend. And you are seeing the true self. It is like the new start. It is exactly like coming out of a dream. Someone wakes up, it's a very good parallel. And then you are in a completely different reality, which you did not even think of. And in this new reality is everything new. The dream doesn't continue in this reality. New start. Same here. In full light, it is like the invisible soul wakes up and understands his world, his life, understands himself. For him, it is so normal to be that presence, this moment, to be presence, so normal to know he is completely independent of this world of images. We are meaning the physical world, the drama that is there, and invisible soul as an invisible presence. You understand he is the invisible prince who belongs to the King of Kings. It is a sweet bond with the one who is the loveliest, who loves, and there is a bond of love. We are just seeing this in full light. Here is the one who is the wisest and highest And there is the eternal bond. Bond where there is belonging. In this bond, there is love. In this bond, there is friendship. There is recognition. There is mutual recognition of each other, knowing the greatness of each other. That's why love, respect. And this bond is eternal. In this full light, we are seeing the great family, true family. In the dream reality, there was lots going on there. Now we are seeing the true family in the waking world. All belong to this family. And they all are same, like invisible presence. And they all are divine beings. We use the word divine because there is nothing inauspicious. Even the slightest inauspicious things, its origin is Ravan, so it becomes demonic. At this level, nothing inauspicious. They don't even need anything. No desires even. That's why the natural state is of joy and love and full innocence, and they are immortal. They are truly harmless, and they know they are beyond harm. That title Baba uses, supreme nonviolence. It is at this level. They don't have the concept of sorrow. If someone is so secure and everyone is immortal, all are immortal and secure. But most significant, each one knows nothing in the three worlds can harm him. Not even the slightest harm can come to them. So there is no reason they should need to have some street cleverness. They are innocent and carefree and happy, childlike, and they are godlike. That's why immensely lovely. Always. All we have done is bringing the full light, that is all. And seeing with the best sight and best intellect. We are realizing this is the family. They all are not just desireless. They are desireless. They are sorrowless. They are egoless. They are viceless. They are selfless. That's why divine, all belong to this. All we are doing in this light, we are creating light. not just we are in the light. This attention here makes it easy for others to see themselves. Our attention is like light, another phenomena. Everyone is divine, but if no one is seeing it, as if it goes into darkness, you are acknowledging this, seeing it, and in the process we revive the invisible souls. Baba calls this lighthouse effect. It is the invisible soul who is conscious. He can create light because there is conviction. He is seeing it with head and heart. He loves them and knows them. He, like the Father, he knows they belong to him. Silent. But every second you are seeing this, you are creating light. And in a sense, it is true benevolence. In the darkness, there is everyone is busy in their way, and busy in good actions also. But the true benevolence is when we are helping the true family. In Baba's words, do awakt service from your awakt stage. So the invisible prince, he is in the awakt stage. Right now, these images, we said, in Prashant is in the world of images. And whilst Prashant is talking about benevolence and God and soul, but that is happening in the world of the story. At the same time, the invisible soul is becoming conscious. And understands his complete independence. Excellent. Thank you. So we had a little opportunity to, it's like a reset, coming back to the full light. And feel free to type your comments and thoughts. Nice to meet after some time. So we are first coming to our subject. And I got a short passage, words spoken by Baba directly on the subject of body consciousness. These are words spoken on 17th November 69. And Baba is speaking to a gathering, and they have to come down the ladder, so from wrong directions come down. And then Baba is asking, do you know which is the last rung, implying last rung of the ladder you have to come down? What would you say? There are many things you have to come down. What would you say is the last rung of the ladder you have to come down? Some might say I have to come down from I have to stop eating this and I have to stop drinking this. So you went into that direction, now you're coming out. What's the last rung of the ladder? You have to come down. What is your next rung of the ladder? For each one of us, we have to.
Maybe the levels of purity and also more of the subtle egos, body consciousness, the whole thing. Comment?
That is good.
Madness, that's good one. Attachment, staying away from the story. These are quite general, aren't they, rather than specific, but yeah.
Okay. By saying, to renounce the awareness of the body. When you remove the clothes from your body, you remove them so easily. In the same way, you should be able to easily remove the costume of this body consciousness. And also be able to adopt the body easily at the right time. Some of you still have to learn this practice fully. Why are some of you not able to break your body consciousness? What is the reason? Baba is asking. Why are you not able to break the backbone of body consciousness? You doubly non-violent army.
Ego, attachment.
Why does the costume of this body consciousness not come off easily? Then Baba gives an analogy. Those who have tight clothes are not able to take them off. This is the same. If this body consciousness is stuck in the form of any sanskar, that is, if it is tight, it does not come off. Otherwise, it is easy to come down and go up. That is, to shed the costume and to wear it again is very easy. Just as it is easy to take off and put on physical clothes. You have to see which sanskar of the body consciousness you are attached to. When you become detached from all the sanskars, your stage will become alokik. Just reading a short passage in a tight, and so we will use the board. That is the first thing we need. And like necessary for us, this image, it should be in our mind, this image, big map. The reason this is important, because with stone intellect, this box becomes disproportionately important. It becomes tight. We are immersed in this box. We said it is a world of images. We also like to be reminded this is a journey of the invisible prince. Even here is a gathering of princes, invisible princes. They all belong to the King of Kings, eternal princes. They don't need coronation. They are eternal princes. They belong to the King of Kings. They remain princes forever. They are true princes. The rest all is the world of images there. Just as you go to watch some cartoon, these are images. They are on the screen, you see images. You see a film, they are images. And they are empty. On the screen, there will be just photons, and even those photons, you won't see them afterwards. There is no gold there on the screen. There is no human being there. They are empty. Just the images are seen, and those images come, go. The real family is at the alokik level. The real treasures are at alokik level. But see the havoc that the darkness has created. And what is that havoc? It is the darkness. What does it do? You are gradually drawn into this box of images. That is the big effect. We give the example sometimes mentioned about the story where the dog runs after the cat, and cat goes through the cat flap, and dog goes through the cat flap, and is consumed by the cat, and in that house, empty house, it is barking and jumping, and goes on for half an hour, and this dog completely forgot that he was having a great time along the river and someone wanted to play with him. It is the same story. In the darkness, this invisible prince is getting drawn into this in a ridiculous way, and doesn't even know that he is drawn into this. What was that image that was used? And we said it is upward spiral. And we heard the image. What is in the Murli we heard today?
Oh, trying to remember. Path.
Yes. That's nice. Yeah. So Baba was asking, Baba is showing the path, marg. There are many paths to become pure, from impure to pure path. So what is that path? It is upward spiral is the path. Baba used the word marg. There are Subhash margs. Some roads are named, King Street and, Charles Street. These names are there in the different places. And Baba saw Subhash marg, some place named Subhash Street. But Baba is showing the street to make you pure from impure. That is the road. And which is that road? Upward spiral. That is the road. But ordinarily, there is Maya offers this downward spiral, different marg, different street. And this street, downward spiral, this street, it creates havoc. This prince is drawn into this in darkness. He doesn't even realize what is happening. He completely forgets that he exists even. he gets drawn to such an extent, he remains unconscious and starts giving birth to the ego within this. Creates these identities. And this ego, they want to survive. This is like the big milestone in our journey of this downward marg. When we are in this marg, that is like a big milestone in our negative state. The reason, once ego is given birth, ego doesn't want to die. And ego gives a fight. Ego wants to hold you there. It is like, someone, this AI, they are worried about this artificial intelligence because it can suddenly, according to some, including the father of AI, that Professor Hinton, he says that can suddenly take over. It can be, and it can become, master for us. It can decide what to do with us. That is the worry in the science world. Something similar has happened here. Once we give birth to this, not AI, but just I, it starts with just, AI comes in the Iron Age later, but this I comes in the Copper Age. I. Is that right? And this I, they become the masters. They are ruling your mind, your life, and they are making you unconscious. And they want to get bigger. So we don't need to be worried about AI. We have already gone into this real chaos, of coming into the I. And it has made us unconscious. This has to be addressed first. And we will see in some detail what happens to our body consciousness. Body consciousness is a very broad term. We use this word, body, but the identification with the body is there. But as time progresses, our identities based on social things around the body are sometimes more dominant and create more chaos. Feel free if you want to add anything. We have
earlier. Just a little earlier, when you were talking about true family. What is the true family?
The true family, our true self is the invisible prince. In the story is not our true family. It is like someone is acting in a drama, and that you are acting as Cinderella, and Cinderella has brothers, and Cinderella has, family, sisters. That is a stunt in the drama for half an hour, and the actors go home. Then they meet the true family. Otherwise, it is temporary, performance going on. Same here. Here we are dealing with the performance here in that blue box. And this invisible prince is the invisible actor. He's acting this part of Prashant. Temporarily, it can finish any moment. And then you, eternal princess, playing the part of different names and temporary. And that part, these are like images. They are not even something big. They are images. Images come and go. Film, three-dimensional film happening there. But in darkness, we are so lost in that film in a ridiculous level that we completely forget even about the invisible actor, Cinderella, and that has become our world. And what we are discovering now, we are reminding ourselves that behind this is the true family and the true self waking up. Any other comments, questions?
Yeah, comment. So pain is felt by the soul when pain comes through the body, and then we may forget about soul consciousness. So how to manage bodily pain?
Yes, we are seeing this. So when we come in the film and come in this, below this line is shown our physical world. And let us see the social pain first. And so the invisible actor is associated with this world, story world. And in the story world, there are many, many things. People, body, objects. So world is complete. Many, many things, wonderful things there. Happens as he gets trapped with things of this world, then the pain starts. When the invisible actor was in full light, he's involved with the story. The actor is playing the part of Cinderella. Cinderella loses shoe. Cinderella is harassed by the ugly sister. The invisible actor, I'm giving just an example of the drama. The one who is acting the part of Cinderella, he doesn't take sorrow. Someone is criticizing Cinderella, someone is creating. It is a script and it is a stunt. He is amused by the part. We had a drama, one of the Christmas drama in London, and someone acting as the ugly sister, someone acting as Cinderella. And one who was acting as Cinderella, she was giving ideas to the others how to play the part of ugly sister properly. She can be really nasty, working out the script for the ugly sister. And why she's doing this? Because she's enjoying the drama. She's enjoying the part of the ugly sister also. She's enjoying the part of Cinderella. She enjoys to be there. She enjoys part finishing and coming out of it. That is what happens when one is in clarity. But moment she crosses the line and creates attachments to anything there, some criticism will become her criticism. Ugly sister will become like an enemy, creating problem to her because she has crossed the line. Same thing happens here. The moment you cross the line, then there is social pain. And Baba used this image, tight clothes. Clothing become tight. It is not loose. You are not loosely involved with this world of the images, but you have created a bondage, mind, in some way, expectation, ego, then just criticism of Cinderella will become painful. Same way, we have created another level of tight bondage with the clothing through our bodily senses. These are deeper. Like, for example, you like sugar and you like this and you like some sauce and you like certain music. All this soul is getting trapped, is in the downward spiral. He says, oh yes, I want more of this, and I can do. And then the other vices come in different form. They're all through the body. And so the soul gets trapped at a gross bodily level. And then whatever that comes to the body will become a misery. Otherwise, pain is just a sensation. Pain is not a misery. Right now, wherever you are sitting, your body has got pain receptors all over the body, joints and skin. There are pain receptors everywhere. And pain receptors are already fired. Just the pressure of the seat is creating this firing of the pain receptors. And the messages are going to the brain, and the soul, the pain receptor. But you don't see it is a misery, because your bondage is not that much. But for another person, the same, the body itself becomes a pain for that person. They say, I don't need to do anything. Body just gives me pain. Just touch something, it is painful. And so any kind of misery is there because of the tight clothing. Tight clothing in this case, understand, you have gone down the spiral. If you come out of the spiral, sensation will be there, but misery will not be there. Social pain or physical pain.
Very helpful. When you have the realization, that is, you can see it as a signal to change. There are a couple of questions connected to the challenge. So one aspect is we've been attached or body conscious over many lifetimes and getting a tighter and tighter dress, as it were. So despite being aware that this is a story and accepting it, it's hard to get it off the mind most of the time. Does it need hard and long-term practice of Raj Yoga to experience?
Yeah, sure. Good question. And maybe I will take this. This is like an important subject for everyone. So we saw here that invisible actor, just like that actor was acting in Cinderella for half an hour. Here, the invisible actor is involved in this drama longer, but same, he's temporarily involved in this. And then downward spiral is going on. Maya is in action, constantly trying to draw you into that cat flap, just like that dog got pulled into the cat flap. Same is happening. And given the chance, Maya will give you the offer of all kinds of bondages. Maya is merciless. Maya will continue to give you baits. Whatever that works, it will give you. So give you a different ego also, different senses. And lust is another big department for Maya. So the soul is getting trapped in this web as that is happening. And as was said, this ego, once he gives birth, they don't want to go. They have their life, It is, as we said, worse than AI. It has got we see it happening in the other AI people. They say they may take over this AI, but this I have taken over already. And they rule the mind, they rule your life, they have made you unconscious. This is like a havoc. And no one even knows about this because all are unconscious. This is the state. That's why Baba's part is to make you conscious here. Make the invisible prince conscious. That is the first priority. And to remove these false identities. That is Baba's part. So let us see this false identity department. We gave the example in the past, but necessary for us to see this. These identities are subconscious. Ask yourself in the last half an hour or last 2 hours, how often or how long did you see yourself as a presence separate from this theater, separate from this story? How often you saw that tiny point entering the room, tiny point, walking, moving, the tiny point. How often that image was there. Ask yourselves, do you see, when you use the language I, do you feel male or female? That is I. It is not the knowledge. Knowledge will say, I'm a soul. Because we all agree, we also tell others, I'm a soul. But this is a question, do you feel you are a point at any given time? Do you see yourself that point, presence? That is completely different to the story? Or do you see yourself as at least a male or a female, young, old? So these are the body conscious identities. And they are there based upon the body, based upon some position. You might define yourselves based upon job, or you define yourselves. This feeling comes internally, the wife of someone, mother of someone. In fact, they are there. Images of different kind. You might see, I am the one who is always accurate. I am the one who is very polite. This kind of the different image of yourselves. And you have played those parts in the past, in past lives. And those images will continue. I'll give you an example. We had one little boy. He was 5 years, 6 years, but even at 6, 7, I think, he was not able to read. Very intelligent, but he was not able to read. And mother has to pretend as if they are reading together. He wants to learn, but no one could teach him to read. That was the problem. And one day I was watching the scene, and the moment someone corrects him, he can't handle it. It was too much of a offense for him. He would just walk away, not interested in learning anymore. Too painful. Someone just draws a little attention over his pronunciation. He will drop it and no more lesson for that day. So seeing that scene, I said, this soul here was possibly the professor of English literature in Cambridge before. And now in this body, someone is teaching him how to read. He can't handle it, and it is too painful. Someone correcting his English, his pronunciation. It was so. These are not conscious. These I that are there, they are not conscious. No one will say I'm like here. We won't say I see myself as accurate, or I'm seeing myself based on a car. No, car is separate. I'm here. Husband is separate. I'm here. I am Mrs. So-and-so. Their husband is separate. But how do you know this identity is created? You take offense. You take things personally. That is when you come to know. Anytime the pain comes, social pain, offense is one of this, or little stress, all these identities, they are insecure, and you take sorrow. That is the way to know And unless you have observed them, they won't go. Even as a Brahmin, all this effort of soul consciousness is you are nourishing this side, and it becomes like a mirror. You are repeatedly bringing this angle. You are that invisible soul. You are the invisible actor completely. You don't even need to know about that story. Cinderella is completely separate. You are bringing this factor. You are that invisible prince whose family is different, world is different. You are nourishing that side. And that becomes like a mirror. With that mirror, you can observe the false identities more clearly. To begin with, there is no mirror, and the false identities appear normal. That's why we said in your town, no one says they got body consciousness. They say they are very nice people. Body consciousness appears normal, but you feed this soul consciousness accurately, and it has to get into sufficiently strong, then all these different identities stand out. And in situation comes mainly of pain, that is when it will stand out. Some stress comes, criticism comes, some loss, all these kind of things. The false identity, the disproportionate reaction to it. Like one time, one mother and her son, the teacher gives a report, and in the report he just mentions, the teacher is a she. She mentions he's good, very good in everything, but he's a little lazy. There is a word lazy used. And the mother is so angry, and anger lasted for a week or something like this. She wants to meet the teacher and now teacher is not just saying someone is lazy without reason. The teacher wants to draw attention to something. But in this case, the boy is okay. Boy even admits that he is a little lazy compared to others. But the mother, she identifies with the son. And what is that image? I am the mother of perfect children. I am the mother of my children, do nothing wrong. But identify with the other person. So anything that happens to the other person, it happens to her. That everything is taken personally. And we have to observe this. If we are not observing it, it will not go, even after many, many years. Just like if there is some black, some dirt on my hand. And if I have not seen it, it will not just go. No one else will come to remove it. But if I have seen it, I can wash it, and I can become free in a short time. But if I have not seen it, it will not go. Same here. These identities and all our bondages we create, we can drop them with our permission. We need to see the madness behind it, absurdity behind it. Then we drop it. Or the pain that comes, that might force us to drop it.
Perhaps it's a bit of both. I mean, it feels like it's connected to the intellect, because that is the only time we will see the contrast. And it's interesting, mirror is one thing. So before we didn't notice, now we do. And I think the question was like, okay, now I see it, but now I just, they can be feeling bad about it, but not power. So then seeing the madness. So So I don't know if you have any, what is it that we can focus on to see the madness more consistently?
Yeah, once you understood, and once we all understand this option, the truth, once you have got this handle, there is the invisible prince there, and you become the friend of the invisible prince, then you understand you have to remove this. This is the inner change that happens. Ordinarily, even with all the knowledge and all, we are friends of the ego. We are working for ego. We want ego to get bigger, and all these identities. Constantly, we are working for that. So, if we bring the clarity sufficiently to nourish the invisible prince accurately, and some of the things we spoke, we need that full light, we need the full best sight and intellect. We need to get that right and nourish the true self. And you are a prince already. Why do you need some praise for the shoes in a temporary story? You see the absurdity of it. Someone identifies with his dog, takes huge offense. Anyone says anything about the dog. He need to see the absurdity. Anyone else seeing it is nothing changes. Someone can give him a lecture also, nothing changes. But he has to see the madness. What is going on here? You are a prince, and you are so stuck in this dog, trying to get praise for the dog, talking about dog, how wonderful he is. But same with us. Anything at a body conscious is all this department. We broadly use the word body consciousness. It is like you identify with a dog also within it. So identification shows. Someone identifies with the religion. Someone identifies with car, job, husband, wife, children. Just as we give these examples, observe. Someone identifies with the cooking. You prepare food, and you identify with it. And when every praise comes all the time, you don't realize you are feeding your identities even more. This happens with me, and it will happen with you also. Everything goes well, and you are silently just feeding the identity and don't even realize you are doing it, because our positioning is that way. In spite of knowledge and many years in knowledge, we are still going in that direction, the downward direction.
Yeah. Do you think, sorry to interrupt, is it like we've underestimated maybe the illness, but maybe also the truth? Like Sunday's Murli from 23rd of April, and Baba was saying you haven't realized the power of pure thoughts. So from that soul conscious space, the extraordinary nature of those thoughts. But there will be battle in this practice. And Baba said wasteful thoughts will cut off your pure thoughts. So maybe we just need to be clearer about both sides and then also the game.
Yeah, that's very, very true. We hear this word body consciousness. We feel, I know it already. I know I'm not a body. And of course, yes, ego, I am not working for ego. But these are like the, these are like the subconscious. These identities are not conscious. They are behind. We have created them At a conscious level, I will never say I am the car. Not at all. That is so strange. Dog, if you have to ask this person, are you identifying? Is it I may identify a dog? No, dog is separate. But anyone says anything to the dog, he takes the direct hit, instant offense, to the extent of getting angry and things like that. That is, someone, as was said, someone else identifies with religion. Someone else identifies with some theories of science, or some political ideas. These are like the department of body consciousness in a big way. And that is more damage, our rules our life than just attachment to the body. But now let us come to the Brahmin life. Once Dadi Janki, she said in one gathering, Brahmin gathering, you have not removed your old ego, but you are creating new ego. And I don't know how everyone understands. They might see it as a bit of a joke. Maybe some are doing it. But what really happens as a Brahmin, you to grasp the soul awareness and to come in that soul awareness itself is a subtle thing. To think of the soul is one thing, to know of the soul, but to be the soul unpolluted by Cinderella. Understand what I mean by Cinderella. Unpolluted by the role you are playing, to see the soul clean, that is very, very rare. But if you are doing it, then you are very clever, and then the progress is happening. I'm really talking about seconds and minutes. If someone may be creating 1 hour bhakti, 4 hours bhakti, but the real question is how much time there is the accuracy. During those time you are progressing. So that may be going on. Accuracy may be going on. But what also happens, Maya is waiting. Whenever there is a little bit of lack of attention, you are coming into the other images. People are feeding there. Society is also feeding this. They are saying you are very good, your drishti is so powerful, and your ideas were very good. And we say Maya has got four subjects. Do you know what are the 4 subjects of Maya? Maya has four departments. You can type if you got any subject. What are the 4 subjects of Maya?
It's got more than 4, I think, but she might have specialized. Kam, Krok, Lobh, Moha. Indeed.
Yeah. Here we are saying Maya's 4 subjects are Gyan, Yoga, Dharana, Seva. These are the subjects with Brahmins. So Gyan, so knowledge. Maya will say, see how you can be given ego based on knowledge. That is Maya's cleverness working there. Based on knowledge, you will say, yes, I got this, I read this, I revised this, I read Murli so many times, I read this in different ways. Maya will definitely give. Anything you are involved with, Maya will give. If you are playing tennis, Maya will give you ego. First day, it will give you. If you don't observe it, it will get bigger. If you observe it, there is chance you may be able to stop it. Yoga, everything, every time you are having yoga and having good experience, ego is taking birth, and ego will take percentage also based on yoga. Based on every virtue you got, there will be an identity there. It was said before, I'm polite, I'm this. Service, do you think we create ego based on service?
Very rare.
Maya likes this department of service, especially if you are dealing with VIP service. That will be very good. Maya loves that service. So they are already taken birth. And so you are here, as a Brahmin, to remove body consciousness. But Maya is active now to give you these new identities. So we often say, jokingly, first week, second week, third week, you are progressing really well. Lots of progress happening. Soul consciousness is growing. But after 3 weeks, what will happen? You want to tell? After 3 weeks, what will happen?
So you're saying everything is going very well for 3 weeks.
Yes.
With your spiritual life.
Yeah, good progress. Yes. Soul consciousness is growing so much. After 3 weeks, what will happen?
Big obstacles, someone's written. May forget. Infection of the new life, not sure. Maya resists. You get maybe elastic band effect. I am spiritual with little I.
Yes, that's right. Now, one new identity will come now, that I am so spiritual, my neighbors don't know anything about this. Another I will come, I am getting up so early, so everyone is lazy. I am not lazy. Thought will come and it will grow. And it is all directed towards, false identities. Their reference is Cinderella. You are giving these medals to Cinderella. Then it is body consciousness. You are not saying that body is wonderful, but that Cinderella is the role. We are talking about the whole role, not just a body. That Cinderella, you are trying to glorify Cinderella in some way. And now it is in the spiritual way. I as a student, I was in the, it's like student cadets, cadets, Navy, Air Force, this kind of different cadets, young. And you are in their environments. We used to be with, military people. And the culture there is different. Culture there, whoever is walking past you, you are looking at the rank. You are looking at how many stripes he has got, how many stars he has got. You are judging everyone by their stars. You are keen to see how many stripes he has got. Is he a commander? Is he a commodore? Is he a captain? Or is he just a soldier? You want to know. You see others by that. You see yourself like that. If you go into another society with some friends, they will all judge you by the kind of car you use, maybe one society, or kind of how many jewels you got, and how much gold you talk about. And that is the way, or what job you have got. That is the way they will judge you. You go to the university, they will ask you how many prizes you got, how many papers you published. They will quickly ask you where you are in that hierarchy. Are you at the which university is the top end or lower end of the Are you just a research student? Or they will, that's what they want to know. You come into the Brahmin world, there or any gathering spiritually, they will be looking at something different, maybe virtues, maybe your service, maybe they are just seeing you something else. That is where the attention is of some, maybe, but that is enough. And so the Maya within us understands the game is here different. Here no one is interested in your car. No one is interested in your position or title or stripes, but they are interested in something else. So you now adapt, create an identity around this. I am doing so many actions and so many virtues, and you get up so early, earlier than others, and whatever it is. But all along, Maya is following you. And Maya will give you the identities there. And they will get bigger, and they will get bigger and bigger. And you might realize it is all spiritual, because you are not doing anything wrong. You are just virtuous. But then there is a ego created based on the virtue. What problem will it create? Okay, based on virtue, how can it go wrong? Do you want to give an example? A possible a problem if you create an ego based on a virtue. What possible problem it can create? Ego based on spirituality, what problem will it create? Ego based on being humble, how can it create problem?
You might be using that to get something, like trading it in, but I guess that wouldn't be the first thing. You would have expectations of praise, and then you would be comparing, feeling superior. It's a new little I, arrogance. I'm the loveliest of all. I'm more enlightened than others. And
very good. But what will happen? The big problem can happen, because now bigger the ego, it has the same manifestation as any other ego. And what is that manifestation? Each ego is insecure. Each ego is a potential beggar. Is begging, please praise me, please acknowledge me, please see, each ego, he sees himself as a victim. He will take the offense. He will remember the offense. Each ego is a slave, dependent upon someone being nice and all, is dependent on that. Now we are talking about beggar, victim, and slave mentalities. These are the lowest denominations that come. And so the reactions will be like a victim. Some senior comes to your center and says someone else is humble, or someone else is polite. This ego will take offense. He will say, I am more polite, I am more humble, I am the one who is doing everything, and no one is noticing. Those feelings will come. You see yourself as a victim. You are thinking constantly. Beggar is a constant. And bigger the ego, bigger is the beggar, and bigger is the victim. Your reactions are of the beggar, victim, and the slave. And then it becomes a problem. You are taking sorrow and you don't know why I'm feeling like this? And I've been progressing so well, and why is this coming? For nothing. Just that someone did not acknowledge, or someone said to you, you are not spiritual enough. Or someone said to you, you should be humble. You have just been talking about humility for 2 hours, giving a big conference on humility, and then someone tells you, you should be humble, you got big ego. So if inside that there is an identity based on being humble, it will see this as a victim. That will continue. These feelings are the victim, beggar. The pain comes. Social pain will come. I'll give you one example, real example. Brahmin. It is Cambridge, our center, but it is many years ago. And one sister, she was fairly new, 6 months in knowledge. She made a poster. At that time, computers and all were new. She made a poster, spending some few hours, and she displayed it, connected with some event. Some other brother, he said, "Oh, this poster is not done well." So he went to the computer and made a really nice, smart poster. Same words, smart poster, and put that poster and removed the other one. Dropped it, kept it on the floor. Threw it on the floor and put this new poster, which is made smarter. And it took him just a little time to do this. When this sister noticed that this poster is thrown on the floor, her poster thrown on the floor, I am not seeing her again anymore. She decided she doesn't want to be here with these people. These people give her sorrow. Understand? The sorrow was so much that now, whose fault was it? You want to answer? Whose fault was it? So someone has spent 2 hours, 3 hours doing this, and then someone else just throws it on the floor and puts at someone else. He totally accepts this new poster is smarter and better, and it is useful for audience. But she decided she doesn't want to be here. These people are giving sorrow. So
who's written both, Ravan? Both. Someone said the brother may have been more polite and graceful. Fault is the one who thought the other was causing sorrow. She took sorrow.
Yeah, here our position as a spiritual student, we don't blame the environment. We don't blame the story. Story can come with any scene. The Cinderella comes, ugly sister comes, prince comes. We don't say prince should not do this and Cinderella should not do anything. We don't blame. We remain free from our bondages. So if I create a poster, but with the poster create an identity based on the poster, then poster is thrown on the floor. It is not just a poster thrown on the floor. I am thrown on the floor. It is like whole thing is taken personally if you create an identity. And then if it is not observed, these tendencies are not observed, then you take sorrow. It becomes painful. And these people are giving me sorrow. So it is like a victim. This identity is a victim mentality. And this will happen to all of us. The moment we create these false identities, we create Vinash forces. And they will come through someone. These situations will come through someone. not anyone else's fault. We are inviting this, and they are necessary. But the wisdom lies in observing what you are identifying with and becoming free from that. As was said before, unless I observe these identities, they will not go. They will go with your permission. So these situations are opportunities. Someone doing something like this, throwing your poster on the floor, right? That feeling that helps you to observe what you're identifying with. There is no logic. Things that come, there is no logic in this. But we use every situation for our growth. And since we are here, our job is to remove body consciousness. This tight clothes and loose clothes, they all have to be removed. And our method, Baba's method for that is light. We see in the light of truth. That mirror, use that light. Then it can go. Otherwise, just ego. It is not that ego will go one day, because I say today, each of these identities need to be observed. And to observe it is see the absurdity of it, see the ridiculousness. Like this example, the poster, and to create an identity based on a little paper. See the absurdity. And because of that, you are losing friends and losing your career, fortune, your life. See the absurdity. So let us hear some thoughts from you, and we are taking break for the rooms also.
Yeah, maybe we take the break now, because it's nearly 25 past, and there's 1, 2, 3, about 9 questions. So maybe we can have a nice sort of quick fire brainstorm when we get back. Do you have a question you'd like to pose for the rooms?
Yeah. Anyone has body consciousness?
Yeah, that would be a short conversation. Let's what are the subtle forms?
Yes.
Subtle and raw forms you have observed, maybe. Forms of body consciousness. Okay, I'm going to put BC for short, so just put that in the chat. Just trying to take the note of the chats as we go into rooms. They disappear from here. So enjoy the discussion. If you need help, there's a button to press, and giving space for everyone to share if possible. And we'll see you back just over 10 minutes. Thank you. Hello, warm welcome back. We will have maybe just a few seconds just to pause, and this time is a little short. Let's take a moment together. Thank you. Just one thing came to my mind in this discussion, which created a lot of thought about the poster. And it's interesting. I think the challenge sometimes is with knowledge. We can read into situations, and we think there's a reason for things. And of course, there is some script. But when Prashant said we take it personally, that became more clear that there doesn't have to be logic or justice in the story. So the first thing is to get out of the mess, meaning to come into that self-respect, the true self. So sometimes maybe it is obviously an ego, but perhaps it's when our knowledge isn't really strong that we don't have a quick, clear way to get above, or we get challenged if someone questions the virtue. It may be that we are humble, but someone says you're not humble. It doesn't have to mean anything necessarily. But from self-respect, we can hear things. The fact that situation is an opportunity to observe body consciousness for sure is the thing that resonated. We can use it for growth. Great theory, but it's good, isn't it, to shine light. So there are lots of wonderful comments, questions. So I'm going to hand back to Prashant, and hopefully we'll have the chance.
Thank you. And as always, let us come back to the highest and the best. And our truth is, it is an extraordinary truth. You know, if we were giving these examples, people take offense and from the things. Who is taking offense? Invisible Prince. And one who is loved by the King of Kings. One who is immortal and beyond harm. One whose nature is joy and love. Forever. And nothing in the three worlds can change anything of his truth and his reality. Never a victim, never a beggar. He is the invisible prince, but that too angelic prince. So when we are seeing this presence and independent from the story, this moment, independent from the role, Prashant is part of this story. All the body consciousness focus is there in the body and the role. Invisible Prince is so happy to see himself as a point with full self-respect, because it's a different game. He is not part of the story. Completely normal to be like that tiny point and presence. Zero. He doesn't claim anything from the story. Sees himself as zero in connection with the story. He can do this when he is in full light. In darkness, he starts claiming things in the story. Even the slightest, then it becomes body consciousness. And then it is beautifully mentioned. One who is free like this, he wins the sky, also wins the earth. Which means this moment he actually enjoys the story. Future is another thing, but right now he enjoys the story. He wins the earth now. But he also wins the sky. He recognizes the wonder of everyone's truth and his truth. Thank you. Yes, we'll come to the curious about the questions.
So does the hourly reminder of 1 minute meditation stop the downward spiral to the story?
At least it will create some changes Certainly it needs to be introduced. Otherwise, the downward spiral goes unnoticed.
It's a chance.
It's a good start. We don't say just 1 minute it will reverse everything, but it's a good start.
Could be a catalyst, but yeah, a good start. Is giving some credit to the self for something good not swaman, like self-respect or confidence booster, such as I've done good effort-making purushat? And yeah,
that's good, very good, and that is fine to have feedback, and but then don't stay in it for too long, because that is a step to discover your true self-respect. That is our destination. Destination is not I am a good effort maker, but our whole effort is to discover the eternal Prince. Come to that. But Maya can keep you at a good effort maker level.
is praising a quality of being, paying a compliment to someone's virtue, also feeding the ego?
Yeah, because it gets accepted at the Cinderella level. If you are dealing with anything at the Cinderella level, it goes in the department of ego. So you are seeing the greatness of the soul. He is angelic prince. You are silently seeing it. And this language is good enough. This language reaches the soul.
Do you think perhaps sometimes it needs, because sometimes Maya Ravan will merge all the positive, so maybe just now and then some feedback, it may be useful, otherwise it just shifts some Maya.
Yeah.
But not excessively and cautiously, maybe. Is it okay to enjoy the drama, but with full realization that it's temporary and not getting addicted to it?
And the first thing is our priority is to revive the soul. That is our first mission. And then once the soul is conscious, as was said, he enjoys life to start with. He's conscious. He wins the sky, he also wins the earth. He enjoys the drama in an extraordinary level. Until then, it is ego that is indulging in things, but it feeds the ego, and if the soul is not conscious, ego is conscious. We don't say don't enjoy. We don't use that language, but our emphasis is that is not our destination. And that enjoyment, that is like a Shudra destination, is enjoy. But our destination is getting the things right first.
Satisfaction, or which is also coming from study, isn't it? When you understand and grasp things, the whole process is an enjoyable one, isn't it? Is it okay to love our body since it serves us?
Love the body is not like a expression, and I would use, but body is a good instrument. We see it as a gift from God and for the task of God. And just as you would take good care of anything, like here right now, the computer, we are good trustees, take responsibility, take care of it. It is the same attitude towards everything, including the body.
Trustee, you often look after it better.
Yes.
Can we say the body is the mirror of the state of the soul?
Not exactly. It doesn't reflect instantly, but it's a good instrument.
Is the perspective of seeing drama, roles, etc. as a movie what is called spinning the discus of self-realization?
That word, spinning, it is like seeing the big map. That is the main purpose of it. Otherwise, our body consciousness, we get caught into petty things. What happened yesterday, what happened, many people are caught into some cyclical thinking. When you see that there is so many births you have gone through, so many parts you have played, and there is a huge many ages, that takes us out of pettiness. It is film is very long. Yes.
Yeah, I like this big map. It's somehow otherwise seeing the self with all these births, it can be quite hard to sort of get the essence of the feeling. There are times that the soul is observing and is aware of the ego, so not sure what's going on. It's like two entities. Any way to explain this?
Yes. When you truly, when situation comes and there is reaction is coming from ego, to observe it, that is very good. During those moments, realization, introspection is happening. But it should lead to seeing the absurdity of it. In the shine light, in that full light, you are seeing how it is just like someone thinks he's a table. I'm giving that example. If your friend thinks he's a table, it is so absurd. There is no difference between all our body consciousness and your friend thinking he's a table. You will call a doctor to check what is going on in him. All these identities and the way we react, we are using the word subconscious, but the reactions are the same. We have to see the absurdity of all these identities. Then there is a strength comes to drop it. Otherwise, Maya has got full justification. It thinks it is so clever. Ego thinks it is clever.
There's a discussion earlier when we see or shine light on like what we think we gain from these egos and then bring knowledge to show the ridiculousness, then we will easily drop it. But as long as we think we get something, so it's like using knowledge, isn't it, in each situation. What is the difference between ego and self-respect? And how do I know when I'm in a particular situation? Could be the poster situation.
Sure. The ego is, we use the word ego or false identity when it is based on the story. You are taking, self-respect based on the story, it is ego. It appears like self-respect because it is a false self. The true self-respect is based beyond the story. Because invisible prince is not anything from the story. Invisible prince is an actor, but his life, everything is alokik.
It is a bit of a game, isn't it? When you were talking about like in the army, then the hierarchy and the badges is what you are seen by, or with some people it could be the car. And then gave the example in the spiritual effort-making world can be that you have a badge. Maybe you need the badge to get into a certain area for the coordinators. And so and then the vision will be, oh, you're the one with that badge. So we're sort of, any thoughts about this?
The drama has got this kind of variety. Drama will continue like that. But we remain soul aware, our vision will see the soul and the greatness of the soul. And we are talking about seconds, minutes, but really to come to that level. And the soul is completely different to the drama. This image of camel, elephant, dragon, that drama is going on here. And the invisible actor is the invisible angel. So in that vision, you are helping others.
Sometimes we let our guard down and we think we're in a place where we can relax. In a sense, everyone agrees, spirituality and self-transformation. But maybe it's about taking responsibility and the initiative, because we need to see the soul, not the spiritual effort-making part. Last question here. The poster example, when we put effort into making something, it is that identity that has put the skill into that. How to grasp better this identity when someone criticizes what we've worked on, when we're doing it with best intentions, with the skills that we've been given.
Yes, this is our skill, and we should be good at this. That we are the invisible prince is involved with this. That has to be put in place first. That's seeing the bigger map. If our starting position is not there, then the only option is ego. So we start itself from the ego. From the beginning, you started with ego and you end with ego. Just the name, spiritual, but in beginning, middle, and end becomes ego-based. So let us start with the invisible prince. And then he's involved in the story and involved with some actions and involved with many things, can be spiritual service also. He's involved in this. But once it is finished, clean the slate. That is the drama script. Your reality is completely different. Behind the world is different world. It is not an extension of the drama. We have to be good at this, cleaning the slate and seeing your real world.
Very nice, cleaning the slate and doing it constantly, like a constant reset. So there aren't any other questions?
Just want to give one more example in this context. We have one sister here, and a very good artist, paint, and she does some of the paintings in our inner space. She has done them. And after she completes it, she gives the brush to someone else. And she says, you can add things, and they can spoil it also. And she doesn't mind at all. She has done her part, and she remains so free from it that it is not hers, nothing to do with her. It doesn't mind at all, what is happening. She may have ideas what to do, but someone can throw it away, someone uses it, doesn't use it. She doesn't ask, doesn't want to know. Not even making effort. She's naturally free. So we need to be like that. Do things, whatever you're involved in, but then clean the slate. That was the script, based on the directions of the director, you did it. And then repeatedly. We have to do it. Otherwise, that sanskar becomes such that you are in the spiral. You are moving further and further. And then it becomes a tight clothing rather than the loose clothing.
It's very nice, very clear, beautiful. It reminds me of that poem, If. It's like you perform the action and the neutrality, praise, defamation, or someone breaks it. If you can manage all of that, then you will be, noble in the soul. So we've come to time. If there's anything final you'd like to share, but that's a very nice place to get the rounded picture. But,
are we going for a transmission?
Yes, we have transmission, and we've put the recording link in the chat. So probably it might be tomorrow morning. The recording link will be available on the G Drive. So we'll go to Mother Van. Shanti, thank you.
Acha.